There's a few related ideas we'll talk about today that all come down to not treating your project like it's your last or only one. And this is something that especially happens if someone is maybe just new to something, which is unfortunate because it's the same kind of pressure that keeps them from getting further with it. And it really is just built around this mentality, even if they would never say it out loud, that this might be the last or only time they're going to make a game, make a song, write a story, try a stand-up, mic night, whatever it might be. This impression that it has to culminate everything they've done so far into one place is bad for several reasons. First of all, obviously, there's a lot of pressure on this expectation that you're going to be judged by it somehow. Anybody who perceives that type of thing of, it's your first game, it's your first book, it's your first song, whatever they know, it's your first one. You're getting some sort of wiggle room there on that. Additionally, it's important because it leads to kind of like realizing when we have an idea that doesn't fit the current project, well, that's fine, because we don't have to shoehorn it in. We don't have to pivot our whole project that direction. We can do it in a later project. And this is part of the healthy attitude I think happens in Keto Club. It has been a regular part of a pattern for Carnegie Mellon's Game Creation Society or for Georgia Tech's GameDev, the two other clubs I helped get started. And that's because in all cases, the members know, like clockwork, year-round, there are games getting made. They're always going to be making more games. There'll be more games after this. There'll be more games before this. At a smaller game company or the smaller studio, people trying to build this kind of stuff in their spare time, it's a beneficial strategy because it also means that they can think in terms of an arc. Not just about a single project that they have to lean everything on, but about how their first project can help draw attention to the second project, how the first project can explore ideas that may get re-implemented, reinvested in, built upon in the second or follow-up project. And it takes, the need to cram everything into one place out, because that's ultimately not going to result in a very good project. It's going to take away focus, leads to us trying to put too much pressure on ourselves for that single thing we're doing. And it's really as simple as zooming out a little bit, thinking longer term about how does this fit into your personal portfolio you're building, about the bigger strategy of what your company's trying to do, about how you're trying to pull in eyeballs or establish a reputation, or just try to get certain sort of tech and design solutions and processes worked out internally under your belt. And as likewise for team processes, if it's a team project, before you carry it on to something bigger, all this relies upon the idea that you just can't treat it like your last or only project. Remember when I was a graduate researcher and several things professors would try to say about kind of the pressure people built up on their PhD, even as an example, where they'll think that has to be the most important achievement of their academic career. It should be the first one, but really, right, it's a gate of entry into then some other work they should be doing as professors and research and other areas of academia, where it's a beginning of a journey. It's not the whole journey in itself. And that's a real easy thing to get confused when you're so close to it, when you're in the middle of the project, when you're working on a game, and especially if it's your first game, you can feel like you'll be judged by it. It's no big deal. Count on making second, third, fourth games thereafter. And this also becomes, as something I often bang the drum on, an element of keeping in mind how we plan our development costs, our development risks, our development approach in a way that we can survive the first one, second one, maybe even third one, not having to be grand, not having to be an immediate overnight success, to stay in it. Because one of the things that can sometimes happen is somebody leans heavily on their first project being their big finale somehow, which, an unfair expectation for anybody new to anything, is that when it doesn't instantly work out, they're out of it. They're out of game development. They can't make another game in the same process or approach or scale or cost or otherwise that they engaged in that first one in, because they didn't go into it thinking about a longer arc. So anyway, that's it. Just zooming out, thinking about, not just a one-game career, not just swinging for the fence on the first time out there, but planning for, this is a part of a longer arc, longer plan. How can we use that strategically? How can we help that to give ourselves, be a little more forgiving of ourselves and making mistakes along the way, and expecting that, I'll have projects that'll follow this. They're going to reflect me being more experienced, me being better at it. And that's it for the day. I want to thank you again, as always, for tuning in. I want to say also my free video course, CodeYourFirstGame.com, recently passed 90,000 students, so I'm incredibly excited about that. I'm still personally supporting every question posted there, so it's not just a pile of videos, it's videos as well as me every single day helping answer questions. If you want to get into game development, if you're watching some of these videos thinking about it, check out CodeYourFirstGame.com. That's it for today. Bye for now.